What's up, guys? Thank you all for tuning into my 5th episode of Project Renaissance Man. Tonight I'm going to be talking about socialization. If you want to become a true Renaissance man or Renaissance woman, brushing up on your social skills, improving them, is definitely going to be a part of that process. Especially today, where the most dominant and prevalent forms of communication are through social media posts and text messaging. It's extremely important to try to get back to being good at actually socializing with somebody when you're present. You know, when you're in their presence and they're in your presence. So basically, what this is going to do for you is it's going to allow you to become more comfortable in social environments, because like anything else, the more you practice it, the better you're going to get. And the better you get, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, that reinforces your, how good you are at that, how well you perform at doing that. So there's a beautiful reciprocation there. And the other thing it's going to do for you is it's going to allow you to have greater chances at opening up doors to meaningful and lasting relationships. And you can't ask for more. That's just amazing, because there's a sense of discovery that comes with that. We don't know what's behind these doors when we meet new people. We don't know where these doors lead to. So it's so rewarding. I'm going to give you guys a few pointers on how to give you a leg up on becoming better at socialization. So the very first one is to be present, listen and retain, focus on what the person's saying. In the world we live in today, where our minds are like overly stimulated, there's all kinds of shit going on. We're very easily distracted. And I feel pretty bad for a lot of these younger generations that are coming up, because I feel that unlike previous generations, they never had a chance to live within a world where there was any sort of calm or peace or quiet, like earlier generations, where those earlier generations that had landline phones that barely fucking rang half the time, and they had television, but they didn't have all that. They weren't bombarded by all this technology. Now it's not uncommon to see a friend laying on a couch, laptop open, doing something on a cell phone, and have TV on as well. All three of those things going on. I mean, how can a brain even process all that crazy shit at once? It can't. So it makes sense, why a lot of us have a hard time focusing. But this is going to help you with that. And that's why it's so important to get out there and to reclaim this lost art of socializing. And socializing well, not just going out and filling the air with babble. But when you are listening and retaining information and you are focusing on this person, it's going to make him or her feel much more important. And people gravitate towards this sort of individual because it's such a unique, strong form of engagement and a very rare quality. It's also going to allow you to more easily absorb and retain information on this person. You're going to basically build a profile on this person in your mind, and it's great for a reference source, because, like, for example, I go down to this coffee shop, and this is, if I go in there and I'm talking to the barista, I find out that she likes to paint, but I also find out that she especially likes to paint in watercolors. Next time I go down there, I can ask her, did she do any watercolors? Does she have any on her phone that she can show me? Any pieces of watercolor painted sort of work? And this is a great thing to do because it allows you to continue conversations with that person, later on down the road, from day to day, whenever you go in there. And it's going to show them that you cared enough about what they're into that you remembered it. So it's a great thing, and it's going to help you with giving you a greater chance at developing that relationship further than outside, right beyond the conversation. It doesn't have to stop at a conversation. It can go farther than that. And so that's what it's going to do for you. The next pointer I have for you guys is to ask open-ended questions as opposed to questions that are most commonly going to give you a simple yes or no response. So what I would do is I'd ask people, like, I'll give you an example. I was working a couple days ago, just met this girl. This was the second question I asked after I had asked her what her name was. And I just said, hey, what are your dreams? And it just opens things up so effortlessly and in a big way. She started to pretty much tell me so much about herself just from that, because it's natural for us when we're talking about something we're so happy about and excited about to go off on tangents on other things that we're excited about. We just run off with excitement and trail off. And so that's what happened. And she pretty much, I pushed the cart, and the momentum was there, and it just took off, And what I learned from her, through that segment is I was able to comment on certain things, and I could ask her further questions, maybe even deeper questions. So it's very helpful, and it makes things easier, smoother in a conversational setting to ask these types of questions. What are you passionate about? What do you like to do when you're not working? As opposed to, do you like your job? Stuff like that. The third pointer I have is to regularly seek out and invest in new interest and knowledge. Always try to become more intelligent. Always seek more knowledge. And when you get involved with activities, you start to learn things from the inside, and then you can speak with authority because you've experienced these things. So, with regard to the knowledge, the more you know, the more confident you are going to be going into conversations, because you can talk about various subjects. And you don't even have to have a super deep knowledge about them. If you're able to comment, minimally, sometimes that's all it takes to get a conversation going. So what I like to do is if I'm talking to somebody that's in the medical field, I try to find out a lot about that field. And so, later on down the road, you don't know where you're going to use it. I could run into somebody, and they could be in the medical field, and I can have at least a basic general conversation with them about, medical types of things, even terminology. So it can go a long way. And the fourth pointer I got for you guys is name recall. At my new job, I worked with 10 people so far, 10 different people. I did it for 4 days so far, and I memorized all of their names, and only 3 of those people had I worked with on more than one occasion. And there was only one girl who I had to ask to remind me of what her name was, and that's because her name was something really fantastical. It sounded like she was out of Lord of the Rings or something. Really cool name. So, but yeah, it's so powerful to memorize people's names. It makes them feel important when you can address them by their names. So, I think that's all I got for you guys tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning in to my 5th episode. I'm really enjoying this process. And if you like this video and you feel that it has benefited you, please give me a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I wish you all a fantastic and safe Christmas, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Peace.